Hey guys, welcome to a brand new section. Previously, we spoke about various transformations like rank, joiner, union, source qualifier, and sequence generator. This section, we'll talk about another important aspect of transformations. They're called classification of transformations. We'll also talk about different advanced transformations like connected loop transformation, unconnected lookup, types of lookup caches, update strategy, and finally, stored procedure transformation. At this point, we've seen quite a few transformations and their functionality. Before we take on the next transformations, let's talk about classification of transformations. Transformations, based on their functionality, are divided as active-passive and connected-unconnected transformation. First, active and passive classification. This classification of transformations is based on the number of records at input and output port of transformation. This is not based on the number of ports or number of groups. If this transformation does not change the number of records at its input and output port, it's said to be passive. If this transformation changes the number of records at input and output port of the transformation, it's active. If the transformation changes the sequence of records passing through, it'll be active, as in case of union. Here's an example to understand the classification. Consider expression transformation from the mapping we took when we looked at expression. This is where we concatenated first name and last name. As you can see, the number of input ports is 7 and output 5. In that mapping, say our source contains 10 records. When we pass all the records to the transformation, the total records that'll reach the output will also be 10. This makes the expression transformation passive. We're not concerned about the number of ports at input and output. Consider this example of filter transformation. If we implement it, it filters out unwanted records. As it changes the number of records passing through it based on its filter condition, it's active. Let us understand how the classification of a transformation is active or passive. Let's take a scenario. As we discussed earlier, the expression transformation is a passive transformation, and the filter transformation is an active transformation. We've taken the columns from the source qualifier into the expression, and the same columns from the source qualifier into the filter. We've connected some columns to the target from the source qualifier. Now we'll try to connect the location from the filter transformation, which is an active transformation to the target, which is already connected to an expression transformation. As you can see in the status bar, the concatenation disallowed our transformations, which means you cannot connect a passive and active transformation in a single flow. This is the reason why the classification of active and passive transformations is done. Let's understand this better. As you can see, the number of records in the input is 10, and the number of records in the output is also 10. So the number of records which will flow through the links to get the output will be 10. When you pass the same records from the filter transformation, based on the filter condition, the filter transformation will eliminate a few records from the source. Hence, it will not source all the 10 records to the target. This is why Informatica does not allow you to link active and passive transformations in a single flow. Let's look at connected and unconnected transformations. This is said to be connected if it's connected to any source or any target, or any other transformation by at least a link. If it's not connected by any link, it's unconnected. Only lookup and stored procedure transformations can be connected and unconnected. The rest of the transformations are connected. In this video, we spoke about classifications of transformation.